Hey OG, nice kicks. Keeping it 100 about these kicks I bought. The channel about the kicks and nothing but the kicks. Raw and uncut. Okay, let's do this. Welcome back, OG crew, to this episode. This might be episode 60. I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, oh well, I'll see that when I go to edit. But welcome to episode, whatever number it is, of Hey OG, Nice Kicks. In this episode, I'm going to talk about a special pair of sneakers that I actually found when I was digging in the crates in the collection. And these shoes are at least 6 years old. I think these are some Nike ID KDs. I don't know which KD number they are, but I'll tell you the story behind these shoes coming up next. So, like I was saying, this is the first pair of Nike ID sneakers that I put together. And it's really a special story behind this. It's really nostalgic to even look at these. Again, I was digging in the crates, trying to figure out what sneakers I was going to talk about in the collection. And I am going to talk about all the sneakers, the older ones, the newer ones, the Heat, the ones that aren't Heat. My goal here is just to share what's in my collection, not to brag about it. I mean, I am a sneaker collector. So it's like me, like someone talking about their comic books or their baseball cards or their stamps. That's how I view my sneakers. So these sneakers here are really, really nostalgic for a couple of reasons. The first pair of Nike ID sneakers that I actually designed based on a KD profile. Secondly, I was actually designing these while I was sitting with my stepfather who had stage 4 lung cancer. And I used to go with him to chemo. And I'm sitting there in chemo and he fell asleep. And when he fell asleep, I was just sitting there with my smartphone thinking, okay, while he's asleep, and he's not the only one there. There's a lot of folks there receiving treatment, fighting for their lives, some brave folks. Got a chance to meet and talk to a lot of folks who were in the treatment room with him. They would have 4 people on a pod, sectioned out, getting their treatments. And so I said, that's the first time I even noticed that Nike had the option to create your own sneakers. So I sat there and I designed these sneakers. And what came to mind when I saw these in the crates, it's just amazing how, a pair of clothing, sneakers, hat, whatever, can just bring back some memories. The one thing I can say about my stepfather, as he was going through his fight for his life, that he eventually lost the battle. He fought hard, he fought long, and actually it was amazing because 2 years before that, we had lost his wife and my mother. And it was funny because I live in another state, he lives in another state, and I worked in the state actually that he lived in, so I came down often. And it was funny how when you can't comfort them, they can't comfort you, but you both understand each other because you're in the same, I guess, sullen place together. So, but he actually, as a result of his pain and his loss, started smoking more, started drinking more, and then eventually that led to lung cancer, and he lost that battle 8 months after he was diagnosed with that. But with all that said, I designed these while I was with him in chemo, and it just takes me back to that time, and it helps me understand and appreciate time and how important time is. Time is our most important commodity. Don't take your time on this planet for granted. Make every experience with everyone a positive experience, even if they don't agree with you, even if they don't like you, even if they don't appreciate or value you. Try to make that a positive experience because you never know when you're going to see them again. And I remember a lot of times we would go to chemo, then after his chemo he would go see his oncologist and he would get his report. He would be so happy, thinking, because his results were positive. But when you have stage 4 cancer, positive results just simply mean you might live an additional 30 days. It's not that you're cured, because there's no cure for stage 4 cancer. And I can say, besides my mother passing away in 2013 and that taking half of me away, going through this experience with him from the time he was diagnosed until 8 months later when we had to bury him, that was a life-changing event for me. It really made me appreciate life, and it made me, it kind of forced me to want to take the time to get to understand my purpose in life and the impact I have on people in my life. Again, to me, the Safari shoe back then, I've worn this shoe extensively because this was my first pair, and this is really before I started really collecting sneakers. So I only had maybe at the time about 5 or 6 pair of sneakers in my collection at that time, because usually I'm a flip-flop boots. I wear flip-flops in the summer, the Nike flip-flops, or the Jordan flip-flops, or the team flip-flops I have. And in the winter I was wearing boots, so I wasn't really a sneaker person. Even 5-6 years ago I wasn't. So when I had these, I wore these a lot because I didn't have a whole lot of sneakers in the collection. But they held up nice, and I had a chance to customize them, put my name on the tongue and customize and put my name all over this puppy. I mean, I just really think they were comfortable shoes, and I will start wearing them again, even though they're older looking and look a little beat up, but these will always be in my collection. Very comfortable shoe. Again, I couldn't tell you which KD it was. It's just when I saw them, I wanted to talk about them, because I was thinking about what sneakers I was going to preview on my channel and what sneakers I wasn't. I was like, I have to preview these sneakers, even though they're older and they're worn. I said, I just have to preview these sneakers. So with all that said, I just want to say rest in peace, Frank. Hard fight. Of course, rest in peace to my mother, my queen. Half of me is up there, so we'll all see each other soon. And really brought back a lot of memories. I remember the fight, and I remember how I know how I hear people complain about things in life. And when you sit in a room with people fighting for their life, getting this chemical, this poison pumped in their body, and that poison is helping one thing but damaging other parts of your system, and then they're happy and smiling, and they're at least putting on the front for us, because I know they had to be scared for their lives. And then I hear people complain about little things. It's like, what are you complaining for? The glass is always half full. My rule in life is, and hopefully this resonates with you, is if I wake up, it's a good day. And if I make it to my bed that night, it's a good day. It was a good day. And if I wake up the next day, it starts the same cycle. Everything after I wake up every day is a bonus to me. Glass is always half full. In life, we're going to have problems. We're born. As soon as you're born, you're smacked on your ass. Wake up. Okay, that's your welcome to the world, okay? And before that, you're in the safe cocoon in your mother. Then you come out and some doctor or somebody smacks you on your ass. So you're born into this world getting smacked around. So in the world, life is problems. But the one thing I would just say, and yeah, this sneaker is bringing those thoughts out of my mind. You say, why is he talking about this? And this is a sneaker channel. Well, on my channel, whatever comes to mind with the sneakers is what I talk about. And it's not a lot to talk about with a black and gray KD, older model. I don't really know which KD number it is, and really don't care. It's really about the thought that comes and what that shoe means to me. And the one thing I can say is this shoe helps me understand and appreciate the value of the time I have on this earth, and stop and to not focus on the glass that's half empty, always focus on the glass that's half full. So with all that said, and again, another Oprah moment episode, but here's my channel. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and you have the option to click off or follow me on my journey. It's your choice. So with that said, I'm going to put these puppies on feet so you can see how they look on feet. So please stand by, please stand by, please stand by, please stand by. So it's funny how, so this is how these puppies look on feet, first of all. And like I was about to say, it's funny how you see a piece of clothing or a shoe or a hat or whatever, and it brings back so many memories. And it's really, these shoes bring back a lot. I haven't looked at these shoes in years, like maybe 2 years. And it just brings back so many memories. And it's funny how, I designed these shoes during a time when my stepfather and I were becoming closer, because I felt like it was my obligation to take care of my mother's widow after she died, because they were all that they had. They were the only people that could count on each other in life. And so I felt like when she passed away, I was gonna look out for the brother. And I really didn't know him before she passed away. I got to know him a lot afterwards because, me personally, I don't get involved with my parents' significant others because that's their problem. And a lot of times as a kid, like I said, the kids are forced to deal with people their parents bring in the home, and the kids have no choice. And it's like, and I can always understand and relate to kids now who have to go through that. Their parents get married, or they have them, or they don't get married, and two people decide to have a kid, and then the kid is forced to deal with these other people. And a lot of times the kids, they fake and act like they like those people. But I never didn't like or didn't dislike anybody. I just didn't feel like I didn't choose to bring them in my life. And if I don't choose to bring you in my life, that could be a relative, that could be a person on the street, then I don't really pay you any mind. Because I only want to focus my time on the people that I choose to bring in my life. That's the power we have that a lot of people don't take advantage of. You don't have to deal with people that you don't choose to bring in your life. But I remember these shoes because this was a time when I got a chance to really know Frank and get to understand who he was as a person. And I've known him for 30 years, didn't even know him. And that goes for like my sisters and my, their significant others. I don't try to get to know any of them. I mean, I'm respectful, and that's about it. Outside of that, I don't really get into their business. I don't really care, because again, like I said, I didn't choose to bring them in my life. So these shoes kind of remind me of a time when I got a chance to at least know Frank before he died, because we spent a lot of time in chemo. In chemo, you're sitting there for 2 or 3 hours, just sitting there. And my thing was, I wasn't gonna have him sit there alone, and a lot of times I was leaving work because I worked in another state. I was getting up at 3 a.m, driving down, going to work for a couple hours, leaving work, then going to chemo, and then coming back another 2 or 3 hours home from the chemo. So I just remember, and I think, and I look back and I say I grew a lot as a person. I got a chance to really not only get to know him, but understand myself better, because when you're on the road a lot by yourself, you just have yourself to kind of critique and learn and grow. So these sneakers bring back those memories. I know I was babbling a lot in this episode, and I apologize. Well, I'm not going to apologize for that, because that's what I do on this channel. But very comfortable shoe. Never balled in this shoe. Probably be a comfortable basketball shoe, but I wouldn't have balled in low tops. I like high tops because of my ankles. But with all that said, and not much said about sneakers on this episode, and sometimes you get that, sometimes you don't. But personally, I want to be able to go back and look at these episodes and remember what I thought when I looked at these sneakers. So it's kind of something I'm doing on YouTube, but really it's a personal thing for me. So maybe 10 years from now, I can go back and what was I thinking when I had those sneakers and I put those sneakers up, So with all that said, peace.